Hello everyone, my name is Eduard Navarro. I'm running as candidate for District 3 of San Francisco. I come from architecture and finance with a specialty in urban design. Let's choose one. If you could only eat one type of food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Well, I probably have to answer with paella. Paella is a traditional dish that we cook in Valencia, my hometown in Spain. We do a lot of them here in San Francisco, and it's an incredible blend of rice and these large green beans that we can only find in Chinatown here. Second question, let's see. Okay. What's your go-to spot in the city to work out? Well, usually I do a lot of walking. I walk all over town. My partner Fernando and I will walk through Telegraph Hill, through Russian Hill, through Nob Hill. Sometimes I call my mother in Spain, and it's funny because we're so used to walking up these incredible staircases that we don't even lose our breath. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done? Whew. On top of running for supervisor, which is rather adventurous, although I'm usually pretty adventuresome. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always started my own companies. There are very good days, there are very bad days, similar to running for office. I enjoy taking risks, and I try to measure potential outcomes. I think life in itself in that way makes it a giant adventure. What's your favorite movie ever, and why does it top your list? I would probably say Anastasia, which has Yul Brynner and Ingrid Bergman. It's an older movie, and it tells the story of the Russian royal family. There was always a rumor that one of them had survived the Bolshevik Revolution. Anyway, the actors are incredible. The imagery is incredible. A very interesting movie. You guys should watch it. Ooh, what was the most cherished toy as a child? Well, my parents would buy me Legos, and so you could almost create anything you wanted out of Legos. Maybe that segued into studying architecture. I remember building a Navy ship and remembering I want to keep this all of my life. Of course, I was probably like 6. Wow, what's your go-to spot in the city to relax? I think that would be probably a couple of answers. There's two types of relaxing. There's the relaxing where you calm down and you basically become introspective, and probably that's a walk where we've crossed over the entire bridge and end up in Sausalito, maybe take the ferry back. If it's more fun, relaxing, disconnecting with friends, it's probably hanging out with friends in the Castro.
而家係時候發揮你嘅想像力同埋創意啦。咁先抽一個慶典活動，然後再抽3個三藩市嘅地標。你可以喺入邊揀一個地標嚟搞呢個活動，講俾我哋聽點解。
So our festival, roll call, is the Holi Festival. This is the one with the colors in India. And then where should we do it? Well, there's the possibility of Alcatraz Island, the Palace of Fine Arts, Coit Tower. I think I would choose to do it in Coit Tower. If we were throwing colors all around, it could even be made up of different types of teams from the different neighborhood groups in District 3. And because Coit Tower is at the center of Telegraph Hill, one of the most storied neighborhoods in the city, it would be an interesting challenge. We could make each one of the neighborhoods hold a different color and see who gets to paint the other one the most. I think that could be a lot of fun. Oh, I love this one. Rio in Brazil. Rio in Carnaval in Brazil. And then Lombard Street, Pier 39, Girardelli Square. Well, you know, it's interesting because these are kind of near each other. And Rio Carnaval, it has the Sambódromo, right, which is where there's a special stage or special amphitheater that the entire kind of carnival goes through. But I could probably use all three. I think we would probably start out at Lombard Street, where it kind of serpentines down the street. People would be walking kind of quick at that moment. We could head down towards Girardelli Square and maybe end up at Pier 39. The carnival has to be kind of a long, drawn-out process. I think it would be funny to see it. Because those things are rather heavy, and then the floats are kind of impressive, we probably have to put something to slow them down so they don't run downhill. But anyway, it would be really interesting to figure that out.
咁而家就從你嘅選區入面抽2個社區，講一講你中意嘅部分，以及覺得佢哋需要改進嘅地方。
Chinatown, one of my favorites. Chinatown is amazing for the amount of little stores and variety that it has. We shop for a lot of our groceries there. I think it's that variety and the fact that I don't speak Cantonese, maybe yet, makes it a lot of fun to try to shop there. In terms of what to improve, I think Chinatown probably could use a lot more public space. There's a lot of little alleyways, there's all the sidewalks, but maybe a plan that brought them together and created a way to get around Chinatown that allowed you to experience the entire space could be quite nice. Also, Grant Street with the night markets and others, it's incredible to see the sea of people that actually gathers there. So maybe making that somehow more permanent while still taking account of the small businesses, so to make sure that deliveries and all these things can happen could be a great improvement. But this is one of my favorite neighborhoods, Chinatown. Number 2 is North Beach. Wow, the neighbor. So North Beach has also an incredible flavor with all the Italian places and shops on Grand Street as well. North Beach, it has also Washington Square Park. I think some things that could maybe be improved there. There's a lot of talk about what to do with Columbus Avenue, what to do with some of those areas. We could try to take away all the wires that are hanging everywhere. We could add trash cans probably. That's something that's quite missing everywhere. And then maybe improve some of the small parks leading up towards Telegraph Hill and up to Russian Hill. So that's North Beach, another great neighborhood in town.
你而家手入邊嘅箱呢，就有三藩市市府或者係加州州府喺度討論中嘅提案。而家抽2個分享你對佢哋嘅睇法啦。
All right, here we go. So let's see. I've got California Proposition 33, expansion of rent control. I think one of the things that we have to look at in terms of housing affordability is to understand all the different levers available to us. Rent control is without a doubt one of them. But rent control is not devoid of evils. It has its evils as well. There's the possibility that a property owner or landlord doesn't maintain or renew the building so well because the income isn't there. It could also prevent other developers from taking interest in California, and because the United States is so dynamic and there's so many places developers can go and build, it might actually make developers shy away from the state. I think we need to use a mixed blend of levers to make sure that housing affordability is here and to also build sufficient housing in the state to accommodate a population that has grown and outpace the amount of housing that has been built. This is California Proposition 36, overhaul of Proposition 47. It would be nice to be able to make a very simple argument about rather a more complex issue. The difference between a felony and a misdemeanor is a felony begins at a year and a misdemeanor is up to a year of incarceration. Proposition 47 has done is simply to take away, to pass them from felonies to misdemeanors. It doesn't mean that people can't be charged for those crimes. It doesn't mean that a prosecutor can't go after persons who have broken the law in those crimes. It just means that the amount of the sentence is not more than a year. So I think this is a proposition that we probably should keep 47 and to lower the punishment for things that we as a society now are more aware or tolerant of. What we really need to look at is that to make sure that the prosecutors and the police are well coordinated and getting along, and that when a police officer has charged somebody for a crime, that the prosecutor is able to carry it out. Thank you everyone for watching Face the Bay with Skylink TV. Again, I'm Eduard Navarro. I'm a candidate for District 3 Supervisor here in San Francisco. I look forward to your support in November and to getting to know you better. Hopefully this skit gives a little bit of background and personality to what often is a lot of just politics. So thank you again, and I'll see you soon.